Hello, my name is Kara. Thank you for joining me today. We are going to do a 60-minute Vinyasa Flow focused on opening the heart space, chest and shoulders. So let's come to a seat on your mat whenever you are ready. I have a couple blocks here that I will possibly use if an opportunity presents itself. And if we have time at the end, I'll probably do a little bit of the singing drum and singing with that. It's a wonderful way to open the heart space. So we're going to start with some seated breathing. And that can be whatever type of seat you like. If you like to sit with your legs crossed, your legs out, maybe you like to sit up high, just be careful because you want to be able to breathe nice and deep. Also, sitting in a chair, totally fine. Whatever your typical seat is, let's start there. Maybe just lay your palms open on your knees. Then start to take some deep breaths and sit up tall. And just breathe in nice and slow. Trying to extend your spine up a little longer. And then out nice and slow, keeping that length in the spine. And then inhaling. Try to lengthen your neck as well. And exhale, nice and relaxed. This time relaxing your face as you breathe in. Let the eyes be heavy and the jaw and chin relax. And then breathe out. Maybe your eyebrows need to relax, forehead, the ears, all that stuff, just check in. One more just deep breath in. And exhale. And then let's take another deep breath in and reach the hands up into the air. We're just going to start to breathe and move together. Go ahead and exhale once with your hands here and just let your shoulders sink down your back a little bit. So the hands stay up high, but your shoulders just sink a little away from your ears. And then inhale and exhale, send your arms down to the elbows, come to a 90-degree angle for Cactus Arms. And take a deep breath in here. Again, lengthening your spine, ground through your hips and your sit bones to support the spine. And then exhale, tuck those low ribs into your spine as you exhale. And let's do another inhale, reach the arms up again. Up and over your head, nice and wide so you keep some space between your palms. And then exhale, bring the arms back down into cactus once more. Inhale, and find that relaxation. Let your shoulders sink down onto your back a little bit as you exhale. And then one more time, let's reach up with the inhale. And exhale, bring the arms down to 90 degrees for cactus. Spread your fingertips, sink the shoulders down, sit up tall in the spine. Breathe in here. And breathe out and release some tension somewhere. And then let's bring the arms down. And this time, go ahead and bring your arms behind your back. Palms come together and you can cross the fingers, cross the thumbs. And again, just sit up tall when you breathe in. So you're lengthening the spine, lengthening the crown of your head. Try not to look up too much because that causes your neck to bend backwards where we want to keep that neck extending long. So bringing the palms to meet, inhaling to extend upwards, and then exhaling to drop the shoulders. Maybe move your hands back a little bit at a time. Get a little bit of a back bend here, but stay with the breath, breathing in to be tall, and breathing out to relax. One more breath here, maybe pressing the palms together a little more. then exhale and release your palms. Go ahead and reach the hands up into the air. I'm going to turn this way. Reach the hands up into the air. Breathe in. Nice long spine once again. And then as we exhale, let's fold over your seated legs. However you're seated, just fold over from the hips, nice and long, keeping that extension in your spine. Exhaling and then inhaling. All the way until you come into a seated forward fold here. Just let the chest come towards the floor. Keep the hips grounded if you can. Inhale nice and long. Exhaling to relax the muscles in your face and shoulders. And then let's come on your next inhale. Just lean onto the hands, come through onto your hands and knees for a tabletop position here. We're just going to take a few cat-cows. Again, working with that breath. So whenever you drop the belly, you're breathing in, bringing the chest through your shoulders, keeping the hands stabilized, pressing into the earth. And then exhale, arch the back, tuck the low ribs. Inhale, drop the belly. And engage your thighs also to really support your middle body here. Then arch your back. Exhale. And one more time through that. Let's drop the belly. Inhale. And then exhale as we arch your back. Press up and away from the earth with the hands. Engage the thighs. And then from that cat-cow, let's just send your hips back towards your heels. Extend your toes long, going into child's pose until your hips meet your heels, and then you just relax the chest and the shoulders and the head all to the earth. Take a couple deep breaths here at your own pace, just breathing into that low belly. And then still tucking the low ribs when you exhale. Relax your chest and shoulders here. There's that wind getting a little crazy out there. In this child's pose, try not to really engage your hands or your arms. Just really release into the floor as you breathe. And relax your face. Relax your chest and relax your shoulders. And then go ahead and spread the fingers wide. Press your hands into the earth. Press the forearms into the earth. Press the feet into the earth and then gently, slowly lift your hips up off the ground. Come forward with the forearms and the hands for puppy dog pose. Deep breath in here. Your forearms are pressing into the earth along with your hands and the tops of your feet. But your hips are lifted and the head can relax down to the mat. This puppy dog pose, it's somewhere between child's pose and downward dog pose. A little less strenuous than downward dog. A little more of a stretch than child's pose. Just release your shoulders, your head here. Just pressing into the earth with the hands. Inhale. Notice the space in the back of your heart between your shoulder blades. And exhale, tuck those low ribs, keep the hips high. And on your next inhale, let's slowly, kind of at your own pace, just press up onto your hands for tabletop pose. Meeting back in this tabletop. I'm going to do just a little bit of flow through a Chaturanga. So first extending the toes long, and you're welcome to just hang out in child's pose or lower to the earth from here. But we're going to extend both feet into plank, press into the earth, lift up with the hips in a little bit just so that your back stays neutral. We don't want the hips to be lifting too much, but we're lifting with the core and the lower body to keep a neutral spine. Breathe in here in plank. And then exhale and slowly lower to the ground. Tuck your elbows into your ribs. All the way till your whole body meets the earth. And then keep your hands nice and tucked against the outsides of your ribs. And then we're gonna extend the toes long, press the tops of the feet into the earth, and just slowly lift your chest and head off the earth. Keeping the hips, lower body, and hands grounded here. Breathe into the low belly. And exhale. Strong lungs. Breathing in. Exhale and lower the chest and head back down to the mat from your cobra. Maybe come onto one side and just rest the head for a second. You can extend your arms long by your sides, palm facing up. Just taking a nice deep breath here, letting your shoulders relax. And then slowly let's come back up with the hands. They should be about on the outsides of your chest, your upper rib cage. Curl those toes under. And then let's just press up onto the knees and the hands. Maybe bring your knees a little closer to your hands, back to our tabletop pose. And from here, we're going to do a little bit of balancing in tabletop, balancing and twisting. So at any time here, if you need to give your wrists a break, feel free to just like sit back on your heels and give the wrists a roll. We will take a couple child's poses throughout this just to make sure that we don't stay on those wrists too long. So from the tabletop pose, I'm going to ground through your left hand and right leg. So you can extend your toes or you can keep the toes curled, whatever supports your knees best. We're going to just go ahead and ground through the right knee and left hand. Start to slowly push your left heel towards the back of the mat. Breathe in. Try and level out your hips a little. Just hang out here for a second and see what that feels like. Just pressing into the earth with your hands, leveling out the hips as much as you can. And then grounding through that left hand. Let's find some balance there if you need to shimmy your hands around a little bit to feel like you have a better balance before lifting the right hand forward and reaching the fingertips toward the front of your mat. Again, just take a second here to find your balance, find your breath. Deep breaths into the low belly, so you should feel that belly drop as you breathe in. And then tuck the low ribs as we breathe out to keep that neutral spine, using the core to support us in this pose. And finally, if you'd like, you can lift that back leg up off the earth. Lift the toes just a couple inches off the mat. Breathe into the belly. Reaching long through the right hand and left leg. Really stretch the spine there. One last big inhale. And exhale, drop the toes. Bring the knee back and bring the hand back to meet the other. And let's just take a nice deep breath in your tabletop before switching to the other side. As much as you can, use your core to support this pose. That way, less of the weight is landing on your joints and more of it is being carried by those core muscles right around your lungs and your diaphragm and your abdomen. So starting on the other side, let's take a nice deep breath. Maybe lift up into a little more of a neutral spine if you feel like your spine has a curl to it. Let's deep breath, press that right heel back. Again, your toes of the other foot can be either pressing against the mat or curled under. Let's
press that right heel back, lifting with the low ribs as we breathe. Nice and long. Exhale. Just maybe leveling out your hips again here, finding what feels good in this position, and then let's go ahead and reach that left hand forward. Pressing the fingertips of the right hand into the earth along with the ball of the hand. Deep breath in. And let's exhale. Tuck those ribs in, keep that spine neutral. And finally, if you like, you can go ahead and lift that right toes off the ground just a little bit. Deep breath in. Exhale, tuck the belly, level the hips. One more inhale here. And then slowly we lower back to the earth with the hand and the knee. And then maybe wiggle the hips side to side. If you like, we can come back onto the feet. And let's just roll those wrists out. Maybe shake your hands out a little bit, one way and then the other. And we're going to move into sort of a similar pose as we just did, but with a little bit of a twist, literally and figuratively. Okay, so once you feel like your wrists are nice and rolled out, let's meet back in our tabletop pose. So kind of the last of our moves that we're going to be on our hands for a little while. So we're going to sort of repeat that same motion, this time grounding through the left hand, extending that left foot back towards the back of the mat. Take a second to level those hips, breathe into the belly, and then tuck your belly and your low ribs as you exhale. On your next inhale, let's lift your right hand off the mat, draw it across your chest, so across your shoulders, across your chest, all the way across your right shoulder until your fingertips reach up. You twist open to the right, deep breath, reaching towards the sky. And then let's send that right hand back down underneath the left hand, coming down onto the earth with the right shoulder. Nice bend in that left elbow. This is extended leg, extended balancing tabletop with a twist. Just let that right shoulder rest on the earth. Adjust however you need to here. And take a nice deep breath. This is a big shoulder opening pose here. It's really what we're looking for, is just to let that shoulder, the back of the heart space, get a big stretch. One more breath in. Let's come back up, exhale, and just switch sides. So we'll bring the right hand back to the mat, left hand stays on the mat for now. Breathe in, let's extend that right leg back towards the back of the mat. Adjust your right hand wherever you feel like is your best balance. Press into the earth with the hands, and let's draw that left hand up and across the body. Opening to the left, grounding through the left leg. Maybe the top of your left foot is pressing into the mat. Inhale. And then as we exhale, let's dive that arm back down underneath the right arm. Bringing the left shoulder all the way down to the mat. You can keep the right hand on the mat. Just relax that right arm. Let the weight of your upper body just kind of sink down into the mat, supporting with your lower body and your core still. Deep breath in here. And exhale. Again, let's breathe in here. Staying nice and stable in the left leg. Exhale. And inhaling, let's come back up off the earth. onto both hands. Both knees come back together. Take a second here to, if you want to do some cat-cows, and stretch your spine out a little bit. It's a great time to do it. Or maybe rotating your hips to the left, all the way, just like making circles with the hips. And then rotating the hips the other way. Even if you just want to sway side to side a little bit here, the little movement with the hips is great. And then let's sink back into our child's pose again. Bringing the hips down onto the heels, extend the fingers long, relax the arms, and relax your chest and head all into the mat. We'll stay here in child's pose for a second, just taking some deep breaths after those nice big twists, a little bit of relaxing down into the mat. Just take a deep breath. Remember to try and keep your face relaxed as we exhale. And inhale. Exhale. Nice heavy hips as we inhale one more time here. And exhale again. This time as you inhale, let's come back up, just moving through your tabletop real quick. We're going to find our way up off the hands and knees into some standing poses. So let's curl the toes, lift the knees nice and slow, lift the hips, press into the hands. We're moving right through our downward dog. So we're just heading into downward dog to transition. And then once you make it into downward dog, stay with your breath. Let's slowly walk your toes up to meet your hands. And once we get up where you can lift up onto the fingertips maybe, and then lift your hands off the earth into a forward fold, whatever that means for you. So we're just folding forward, letting the spine release, letting your shoulders and neck release downward with gravity. We're going to halfway lift as you inhale. So inhale and then trace your fingers up your legs. Find that nice straight spine. And then exhale, drop back down to the earth. And then once again, let's inhale, lift up. Tracing the hands up the legs, extending the spine and the crown of the head. And then exhaling and dropping back to the earth. One more time, we're going to halfway lift, inhale. Press the feet into the mat, keep a soft bend in the knees. And exhale back to the mat. And this time as you inhale, let's come all the way up, nice and slow. Bending in the knees, pressing up with the legs and feet. Stacking your spine up until we get to the neck, and then you stack your neck on top and stack your head on top of your neck. Shoulders relax down the spine. Let's give the shoulders a nice wiggle here. We did a little bit of shoulder work in those first poses, so just wiggling from side to side, maybe rolling the shoulders back. And then finally roll the shoulders back, but let them just sink down your spine until you find that nice comfortable place where your shoulders are wrapped against your back. And then open your palms towards the front of your room. That should help with your wrapping of the shoulders. Take a nice deep breath. Find some length in your spine again now that we're standing. You might want to reach your crown of the head towards the top of the room. And then stay tall as we exhale, tucking the belly. And then let's go ahead and lift the arms on the next inhale, reaching up to the sky. Lots of space between the hands once we reach upwards. Deep breath in.
And then exhale and lower the arms back down to about shoulder height, palms facing the earth. So your arms are just sticking straight out from your body at shoulder height. Deep breath in. Let's press away from the earth with your feet and make sure we're keeping a little bit of a bend in the knees while we move through this next part. And then we're going to deep breath in, deep breath out. Just finding this pose nice and strong. And then inhale. And as we exhale, we're just going to slowly twist from your hips to the right side. So keep your arms out long. You're just rotating. And as soon as you start to feel your hips wanting to move with your upper body, you've gone far enough. So we want to keep the hips nice and square, just rotating the upper body here. And then come back to center. Inhale. Relax those shoulders as you exhale. And then again, inhale. Same thing, twisting open to the left, nice and slow. Just getting a little bit of energy flowing through the spine with this twist. And then exhale, come back through to center. Drop the arms by your side. Again, if we need to roll the shoulders, maybe forward and back as well. And this time, let's reach the arms up and inhale. Then exhale, come back down to our cactus arms from our seated poses earlier. Still strong in the low body here. Breathing into the belly. And then tucking those ribs as you exhale. Lengthen the spine. Inhale. Stay nice and tall as you exhale. And drop the arms once again. Wiggling those shoulders, rolling them around. Maybe let the neck go side to side, nice and slow. And then one more time, reach the arms up tall. This time heading down into eagle arms. So we're going to bring the right hand up and over the left arm. So right arm goes over the left arm, left elbow bends. And you can get a nice stretch right here, keeping the right arm extended, staying nice and tall, or we can wrap that right arm as well, bringing the palms to meet for the eagle arms. Stay nice and tall here. Take some deep breaths into the low belly. Belly expands as you inhale and then comes back in towards the spine as you exhale. If you'd like, you can just slowly start to lift the elbows away from the body out. But make sure we keep the shoulders relaxing down away from the ears. Take a deep breath. And exhale. Release the arms nice and slow. Let's open back out. Take a deep breath, spread the arms wide. And then switch sides. This time we're crossing the left arm over the right arm. Bend that right elbow. Keep the arm extended or twist a little bit farther, bending both elbows up into eagle arms. Bring the palms to meet each other, or if we just end up hanging on with your thumbs or your fingers. Stay nice and tall here. Deep breath in. And then keep the length in your spine by tucking your low ribs as we exhale. Relaxing the shoulders away from the ears, even if you are lifting your elbows for a little more of a stretch. Inhale into the heart space and into the back of your heart space. Exhale and relax. And let's release those hands once more, reaching up to the sky as we inhale. And then finding those cactus arms one last time, 90 degrees with the elbows, spreading the fingers, letting the shoulders fall down away from the ears.
And lastly, we're going to wrap your arms around your shoulders and give yourself a big hug. Take a nice deep breath. Express a little love to yourself, whatever way that works best for you. Just big hug, and then let yourself go. Relax the arms. Nice shoulder work there. Again, wiggle those shoulders around if you feel like you need to. And we're going to move back down towards the earth for some seated poses once again. So we'll go ahead and move through a little bit of a flow to make our way back to the earth. So we're reaching up with the hands. Go ahead and turn your feet towards the front of your mat so you're facing long ways on your mat. Stay with your inhale as we move through this, breathing into the belly. And then slowly just start to lean forward, but let your hips stay sinking back so your hips stay over your heels. Slight bend in your knees to keep the blood and the energy flowing. Exhale as we come all the way down to the earth with the hands into a forward fold. And from our forward fold, let's just do one lift halfway. So we're going to lengthen the spine, lift up, breathe in until you have a little bit of a neutral back going here. And then drop back down, exhale. Bend your knees. And then keep bending your knees until your belly comes down to the tops of your thighs. Press the hands into the earth. Slowly walk the feet back until we end up in our downward dog again. So your hips are high, you're pressing into the earth with the hands, wrapping the shoulders down the back, away from the ears. Breathe into the belly. And then tuck the belly as you exhale. Let's bring your chest through the hands. Maybe step the feet back a little wider into plank pose. Once again, kind of lower to the earth from here. So you're pressing up away from the earth with your hands, lifting with the core. Nice, strong, engaged feet and legs here as well. And then slowly breathe in. And exhale and slowly lower to the earth. All right. And from here, you can take another slow little Cobra Pose. So we're just going to press your hands into the earth, right on the outsides of your ribs. Press the tops of your feet, your legs, your hips into the earth. And then on a deep breath in, lift up slowly with the chest. If you'd like to go a little farther, you can lift all the way up. Try to start to straighten the arms for an upward dog. And wherever you're at, let's send the hips back. Come up into child's pose all the way through into, up into tabletop, all the way through to child's pose. And we're relaxing the arms, extending the hands. Deep breath in. And then coming onto one side, you can swing your legs to one side and come through back to a seat. This time, extend your legs long in your seat. So you can extend your legs towards the long edge of your mat. Sit up nice and tall. You can place your hands on the ground on either side of your hips. Or if you do have blocks or heavy books, thick books that you like to use as props, you are also welcome to bring your hands onto those blocks to give you a little more height. The main thing here, let's flex the feet and press the hands somewhere near the earth on the sides of your body, just sitting up nice and tall. Extend the spine, press the hip bones into the earth, and engage those thighs and hips to help support your upper body. Let's take a deep breath in, and then bring your hands back behind your body. So we're going to maybe turn the fingertips to face the back of your mat,
And from right here, just lean back on the hands a little bit. Let the chest come through. A little bit of a back bend here. You can even look up towards the ceiling if you want. Let your neck hang backwards. Let's inhale and then exhale. Sit up nice and tall. Bring the hands back up. And this time, keep your left leg grounded. We're going to lift the right knee nice and slow until it's bent up and lifted off the ground. Press the right foot into the mat, still extending the left leg nice and long, but stay active in the left foot as well. Then inhale, let's reach up and extend your spine, sitting with one knee bent up, one leg extended long. Then we're going to turn open towards your left until the left arm comes across the right leg. Right arm comes down to the mat behind you. Take a deep breath here. Just find this pose for yourself. If you need to relax your shoulders down your spine a little, or maybe take some deep breaths and extend through your spine. And then if you like, you can go ahead and start to bring that left palm up into the air and turn your gaze towards the right side. Take a deep breath in, pressing both feet into the earth, left heel, bottom of the right foot. Exhale. One more breath here. Let's inhale. And then exhale to turn back open towards center. Reach the arms up. And let's drop that right leg back down to the ground, keeping the arms in the air. Bring your left knee up. Left foot comes down to the mat. Right heel, right leg pressing into the mat. And this time we'll twist open to your left side. So until the right arm comes across your left leg. Left hand to the mat. Nice deep breaths here, breathing in. And exhaling. Staying long with the exhale. Maybe bending the right arm till the palm comes up and the gaze follows to the left side. Breathe in here, both feet pressing into the mat. Engage the muscles in your hips and thighs to really help support this seated position. One more breath in. And out. Let's go ahead and open back up. Extend the arms nice and wide. Both legs out long. Reach the arms up, big breath. And exhale, arms come back down behind you. And once again, we're just going to lean onto those palms. You can still have strong, engaged legs here. Still engaging the hips. Letting your chest come through the shoulders. And keep your gaze either right in front of you or slowly you can let the gaze travel up to the ceiling. And take one deep breath here. And exhale. We're going to slowly find your way down onto your back for the final sequence here. So we can just walk your hands back and maybe turn your fingertips back towards the front of your mat, come down onto the elbows, whatever way you want to make your way down onto your back, legs extended, and then finally lowering all the way. Let's take a deep breath here. Feel your belly extend upwards as you inhale. And then fall back down as you exhale. Slowly, let's lift the knees into the air, keeping the feet on the mat at first. And keep your hips nice and grounded. Let that low back just release into the earth. Your arms release into the earth.
And then let's lift the knees nice and slow. Give yourself a big hug, hugging the knees into your chest. So you might feel your tailbone, your sacrum come up off the mat here. That's totally fine. Just hug those knees, breathe in. You're squeezing yourself into a little bit of a ball here. And then release. Let the feet come back down, but keep the knees in the air. Turn your palms down onto the mat. Then we're going to ground through your feet, shoulders, and hands. Taking a deep breath. And then exhale again. Make sure we keep the neck long here. So try not to arch your neck backwards. Just looking straight up at the ceiling. Exhale. On this next inhale, slowly press into the earth with the hands and lift the hips. Inhaling. Keeping the shoulders down, hands and feet strong. And then exhale and lower back to the mat. And this is our bridge pose. Go through that a couple more times. We'll inhale, slowly lift the hips. Heart space, shoulders stay down. You might feel your chest come through your shoulders here. And then exhale as we lower back to the mat. And then once more, inhaling, slowly lifting with the hips, pressing into the earth with those grounding points. And exhaling to lower back down to the earth with control. And once your hips find the earth again, relax the shoulders, relax the arms, relax your neck. Let's give those knees one more big squeeze. We're going to bring the knees up to the chest. Curling yourself into a nice little ball, giving yourself a big hug here. Knees into the chest. And then we're releasing and opening up, extending all the way out. Legs come out, arms come down below the heart level. Finding your version of Shavasana here, whether that means your legs are fully extended and straight, or you keep your knees just a little bent and put a pillow under them. Or even keep your knees all the way up and let them fall in to lean against each other. If you want to keep the sacrum nice and strong against the earth, that's a good way to do it. Open the palms up toward the ceiling. Let's take a deep breath in. And a deep breath out. Breathing in, into the low belly, and then exhaling and releasing some tension from your face or neck or shoulders, wherever you feel. Breathe it out. Inhaling again. Exhaling to release whatever you need, making space for new things. Let's inhale once more together. Exhale and release. And then we're going to take a couple of quiet minutes of breath. Let your practice soak into your body a bit. And focus on the rhythm of your breathing.
as we start to bring your awareness back into your body a little. No need to move yet, or open your eyes if you had them closed, or really do anything. If you'd like, you can start to wiggle your fingers and toes and sit up eventually. And if you'd also like, you can remain lying down. I'm going to play this out with a little bit of the singing drum and my singing voice. As we're focused on the heart space today, I think it's a great way to release or open up and make space in your heart for other things to come in. So as we come to the end of our practice, let's just take a minute together to feel into your heart space. And then open up and let it out. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you leave with a happy, open heart and have a wonderful day.